Okay, as we all know, the UFC 4 trailer just dropped a few hours ago. And while we knew that that game was coming, there's a few announcements in the game that I really feel like is taking a direct jab and an insult to the Fight Night audience. Pun very much intended. Now, to say that I'm disappointed would be an understatement. EA, it's time to have a real conversation. And until we have that real conversation, I'm going to speak some words that you're going to not like. In fact, I'm going to mention a name of someone that you don't like. Because I'm about to be that thorn in your side for this incompetence. For your incompetence of ignoring the fan base. In other words, it's time for me to get Ryan Moody on your ass. And what I mean by Ryan Moody is if you guys don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber who's been doing God's work on getting the Madden franchise to shape up. Because while my channel is not a Madden channel, I actually did start my YouTube career on Madden, and I'm a former Madden Challenge champion, so I do have a vested interest in that franchise. And Ryan Moody pretty much goes over why that series sucks now, and we're going to go over why the EA Sports Combat series sucks today. So first, we'll go over the UFC 4 trailer and what I saw, and we'll go over the positives first, because there was a few things that I did like. I do like the backyard modes, seeing that you could do street fights and stuff like that outside. I think that's pretty cool, but I also think that it's silly in the sense that they're fighting in gloves while Fight Night Champion, a game made in 2011, you could fight bare knuckle. I'm just saying. And I also hear that they've improved and changed the clinch and ground controls, which needs severe reworking. So I'm glad that they're doing that. And personally, I hope it plays more like UFC 2 than it did UFC 3. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting into the elephant in the room. And the reason many of you know why UFC 4 is an insult to the Fight Night Champion Series and an insult to the sweet science of boxing. And that insult is because Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, two of the three biggest heavyweights in boxing today, are announced as DLC for UFC 4. What the fuck? Seriously, EA, you mean to tell me that you could crank out this excuse of saying that y'all can't afford certain boxers, or it's too difficult to get certain boxers licenses in Fight Night, so that's the reason why you discontinued the series. Yet today, you have Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, both of them world champions currently. You can get them and throw them in a fucking octagon. I'm sorry, EA, but this is it. This is the last straw. So we need to really talk about this. What about Fight Night? Clearly, you've got new 2020 character models for these guys, yet you don't want to give us a new boxing game. But even furthermore, even in your current game, all of the best fighters in UFC, guess what? Are Fight Night champion characters. You can go on UFC right now, and Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost can strike better than any of the current great UFC fighters today, and that's a problem. All because of your blatant reluctance to give us a boxing game. Now, to explain how sad and pathetic this would be like if Madden continues to do what it do by putting out the same garbage every year, and instead of fixing core issues, they'll announce LeBron James as a special downloadable pack for MUT. And yeah, I know I'm giving EA ideas, so I apologize, because they'll probably do just what I said. But back to the point, I cannot believe that we're getting Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in an MMA game before we can use them in a boxing game. And I can't even begin to tell you how many people would love, myself included, to use these kind of boxers in Fight Night Champion. Hell, at this point, Give us a DLC pack with current boxers and Fight Night champions, since we all now know that you don't have as many problems as you claim to getting certain boxers, big name boxers in the game. And from what I know, Deontay Wilder himself has said he's looking forward to another boxing game too. So you could easily get all three of those heavyweights in a new Fight Night game if you chose to. Now, I'm making this video because I don't want to use Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury to throw kicks and clinch and do suplexes and get in the missionary position on the ground. That's not what I want. And it's time for us as the Fight Night series to say something about it, because they continue to slap us in the face. And it's unacceptable. In UFC 2, we got Mike Tyson. And in UFC 3, we got Isaac Frost and Andre Bishop, which came out of nowhere. So what gives, EA? You continue to use boxing to promote and sell a mixed martial arts game, which is a completely different genre. And yet you're trying to merge the two. And boxing and MMA will never be the same. They're two separate fan bases. They have two separate rules. EA, it's time to get back to this table. It's time to ask the question, what about Fight Night? Where is Fight Night? Now, like I said, we all know that UFC 4 was coming, so that's expected. And I'm hoping that because they have active character models for Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, that something else could be on the horizon. So I'm going to give a little bit of hope that we might just get our wish and get a new boxing game for next gen. But it's time to get on that EA Sports UFC trailer. Please, not just anyone here at LX Nation. If you are a fan of Fight Night, period, get on EA Sports UFC channel and ask them the question, what about Fight Night? Because this is preposterous, people. And from what I understand, UFC and EA had a 4-game deal, with this one being the final game of the contract agreement. So that really begets the question of what is next for EA Sports. Is it UFC 5, or is it Fight Night Champion 2, or Fight Night Round 5, or whatever you want to call it? And this is going to be a serious question, because while I'm sure the UFC audience is going to play and enjoy UFC 4 and do their thing, we're still over here. The Fight Night community is over here, and we're waiting. And you just can't get away with announcing another UFC game without ignoring the boxing audience. And people are asking me whether or not I'm going to be uploading content to YouTube for UFC 4. And the answer to that is most likely not. And the reason why is I was actually planning on doing so. I was checking out UFC 4 and I thought about giving it a chance. But with the announcement of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, two of the biggest heavyweight boxers in the game, I have to draw a line in the sand. I'm not going to accept that, and I'm not going to promote it. So no, you will not see any content on my channel with UFC 4 for those specific reasons. Because I didn't ask for Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury to be in that game, because I want them in a boxing game where they belong. And I don't think I'm being too unrealistic with asking that question. With that demand. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it makes me sick to my stomach that they would do such a thing and expect us to the Fight Night champion community to just sit there and take it and sit there and like it. Because that's just despicable. I mean, we got to have a real conversation here, people. EA Sports, it's time to answer the question, what about Fight Night? Where is it? What are y'all about to do next? Because if it's EA Sports UFC 5, we're not going to take that no more. We're tired of it. Bring the people what they want. You guys know we want it. I know we want it. And if you're watching this video, you want another Fight Night game. So EA, please, bring us a new Fight Night. Stop insulting the audience by making it okay to use boxers in MMA. And just as a side note, if you do make another boxing game, give us at least Conor McGregor. All right? We can at least get Conor in the game. Anyway, I'm going to be talking a lot more about the state of EA and their incompetence on ignoring a very, very active fan base in a boxing community that needs attention here. So with that being said, to quote Ryan Moody, I'll be back in a week with more commentary.